You are now entering Nyghtstorm Nation.
All I have to say is this.
Child abuse.
If you are one of those people
Divorce.
that have been put down all of your life,
Infidelity.
beat up and trapped in a pit of woe,
Depression.
it is time for you to stand up with the Nyghtstorm Nation, because we aren't going anywhere.
I'm NYGHTSTORM, the man not afraid to be transparent, as I help real people with real issues. And my co-host is my queen, my stunningly gorgeous wife. Woo! Come on,
Good
baby.
morning, ATL, and everyone all over the country. This is Toby George Nyghtstorm, the woman not afraid to tell the truth about how things really are. And this is Nyghtstorm Radio, radio gone real because we are you.
Yeah, now Nyghtstorm Nation, if you want to call in and you're in the ATL, call in at 443-558-8699. And to all the Nyghtstorm Nation members around the country, call in at 1-866-923-2860. You can also find out more about us, the Nyghtstorms, at Nyghtstorm.com. That's NYGHTSTORM.com. And you can listen to our show from the Talk Radio page on Nyghtstorm.com, as well as Love860.com, and here at Love 860 AM, baby.
That's right. And all you smartphone owners out there, don't forget, as I tell you every week, pick up that lovely phone that you stood in the line for and paid $600 and some odd for.
Wow.
And download iHeartRadio, Tunein Radio, or iRadionow.
Yes.
Go to the Talk Radio section, look for WAEC, Love 860 AM, and take us everywhere you go, anywhere in the world, no matter where you are. Nyghtstorm Radio and the Nyghtstorm Nation is here for you.
Yeah. Now, the queen always tell y'all, she said, you better go to iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio. Man, I tell you, the more I listen to you, sweetie, the more blessed my life get, man. I tell you that.
Good karma. Good karma.
Okay. So we got a lot going on. So what's on tap for the day, baby?
Well, first of all, I wanted to say hello and give a big shout out to Mr. Tony Robleski and everyone else that we met last week at the Ultimate Mastermind Summit 2014 in Chicago. We had such an enjoyable time meeting new people and learning new things about running our business. And Nyghtstorm Nation, I know you missed us last week, but we hope you enjoyed the replay of our inaugural show, how to successfully, we talked about how to successfully co-parent with your ex. I know that can be challenging at times, but we have these babies that have to be raised.
Yeah, even had my ex-wife on.
Yeah. That's right. We went deep.
We went real deep.
We called the ex-wife in to say, hey. And we hope that it helped you guys and gave you a perspective. If you didn't catch our first show when we first came on, all the way back in January here on Love 860, they gave you an opportunity to hear what we were all about, how we brought the show in, hope it gave you a new perspective, because that's our purpose here on Nyghtstorm Radio, to enlighten you and to inform you as well as entertain you.
Yeah.
And to all our members of Nyghtstorm Nation who are business owners, either new to the game or more experienced, I really encourage you to Google the Ultimate Mastermind Summit.
Yes.
See when it's coming to a town near you, or if it's going to be somewhere that you're willing to fly to, because it is 2 days jam-packed with wonderful speakers, wonderful information, and ideas on how to move your business forward.
Yeah, and speaking of the Ultimate Mastermind Summit, our good friend Brad Shalos, a world-renowned international speaker himself, he said, YG and Toby, I need y'all to play my theme music. So, Jared, if you can cue that theme music for Brad so we can kick this off, man. What's that? Brad Shalos, this for you, baby. Let's get it on. Man, that feels so good. This was the energy at the Ultimate Mastermind Summit.
I know. We were
2014 in Chicago. We want to give big shout outs to Bernie Dorman. Who else was there? Brad Shalos. Who else was there? I want to pull up this whole freaking list of everybody that was there. We had the incredible John Dillamy, yes. We had Ann Convery, yes. We had Tom Sutter of Cal's All-Star Angels, yes. We had the incredible Cynthia K, yes. We had Jim Palmer, yes. Charlie Adams, yes. Ben Gay the Third, Dave Sheffield, Joel Calm, and Johnny Campbell. Paul D. Guyan, Shannon Gronich, and Wendy Schwerzer, along with the Zentex, Sean M. Miller, Kim Gleason, Eric Witherspoon, Steve Zentek. Man, it was hype.
Clint Mackey.
Mackey.
Thank you for lunch, Clint. We enjoyed your company. We had such a great time.
Man, and Bernie Dorman, I tell you, man, he's the CEO Space. If you guys don't know about CEO Space, you need to holler at these folks. They will help you change your world, your business, your family, and your life. I guarantee you. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you, Tony Robleski. We appreciate you.
I know. Now, as far as the show today, we're going to be talking about healing and letting go of the past and things that have hurt you, because they do not define you, ladies and gentlemen. You are who you are today, and we're going to be learning how to move forward in your purpose in the life that God has blessed you with.
Yeah, and sweetheart, sometimes that can be, easier said than done. And I know that can especially be true for myself at times with everything that I've gone through in my life, which Nightstorm Nation members are very familiar with. And I know that letting go of the past can be difficult, but it's not impossible. Now, in fact, our youngest daughter was doing what teenagers, do normally, surfing the net. And she came across this mime on Instagram, which read, "Nothing is impossible because the word itself says, I'm possible." And I had never taken the time to look at that word and grasp that before until she pointed it out. So, Nightstorm Nation, we have a great show for you today. And as always here on Nightstorm Radio, we love starting the show off with our very special Nightstorm letter. And if you want to send us your Nightstorm letters and emails, always go to the Nightstorms, that's Nightstorm with an S, at Nyghtstorm.com. And if your letter fits the topic we are discussing, we'll read it on the air and address the issue. So, my queen, I have our first letter here. If you don't mind, can I please read it, baby?
Yes, my king. Get to it.
See, you always got to get permission, even though I'm the king of the castle.
Yes, you
I'm
are.
the biggest person in the house.
Yes,
I'm
you
the
are.
boss. I can bench press 500 pounds. But I still say, baby, can I go? Okay, here we go. It says, "Dear Nightstorms, I feel silly for writing you, but out of fear of being judged and ridiculed by the people around me, I have decided to write your show anonymously in hopes of getting some direction from a neutral party. I listen to your show as often as I can, and I don't always agree with everything you say or care for every guest you have on, but for the most part, you guys have a great show. You say or care for every guest." Okay, I'm sorry, Nightstorm Nation, I'm messing this up. Okay, and even though every show isn't my favorite, the one thing I can say is it does make a person think. Come on, YG, get your thoughts together, brother. It would help if I just learned how to read, wouldn't it? Okay, the problem that I am having as of late is that my thoughts are bombarded with the bull people have done or said to me. I can honestly say that I have done more than a few grudges with people who could seemingly care less about the things that I have done to others over these years. Now, I already see where this brother is going.
Yeah, I don't think that says they can care less about the things they've done to him.
Yeah, and you know something?
Years.
I could care less about this doggone problem that I have reading right now.
It's okay.
You would think
all that,
going to high school,
Chicago,
going to college, and all this energy lost
stuff
from the Mastermind Summit. I can't even read now. Now, let's get back to this letter. My feelings of resentment are starting to affect my work performance as well as my home life. I was brought up to get over it. Life happens. Keep it moving, but lately, I'm stuck. I know I'm not unique, and everyone has had a bad relationship, money problems, and the like, and I am trying to shake it off and keep moving, but it's keeping me up at night, and I don't have money for a counselor. Now, as I said earlier, I don't really have anyone to discuss my issues with because I have watched the people around me laugh and talk negatively about other people we know who are dealing with things similar to mine. And I don't want to be a part of their gossip. I know I can't do anything about the past, but I'm having a problem with letting bygones be bygones. What should I do? And that is from Fed Up in Philly. Well, Fed Up in Philly, first of all, I want to apologize for me not being able to read your letter correctly because, I am fed up with the issues also that hamper folks, okay? And I understand what you're saying, and we appreciate your letter. And we know that everybody don't agree with everything we say. We know that everybody don't agree with all the different guests that we have on the show. But the fact of the matter is we value people's opinions.
Right.
And we are trying to get strong messages out to as many people as possible who are fed up, not just in Philly, but fed up around this world. So let me tell you this. Nyghtstorm Nation knows the things that I've gone through. And you listen to the show and the issues that I have had dealing with depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, all coming from an abusive childhood, being raped as a kid when I was 11, watching my parents literally fight each other almost to death, and going through the things I went through with suicide attempts. So trust me, I was fed up with life a long time ago. But the one thing that kept me going, because people did judge me, okay? People had all kind of things to say, and guess what? People still talk about old YG and Toby. But one thing we don't get or we won't let happen to us is to allow the negative energy of other people who we call emotional vampires to suck the life out of us.
Right.
We won't do it. And it's good that you're fed up, because once you're fed up, then you're tired of sitting down and taking it. You're ready to stand up and do something about your situation. So I'm going to tell you this, Fed Up. Don't worry about what these people are saying. To hell with them, okay? Let these folks go in your life and focus on who you are, what your purpose is in this life, and you can care less about what everybody else say, because ain't nobody paying your bills. Ain't nobody living your life. Nobody was born for you, and nobody is dying for you. Once you take your last breath, that is it. That is your life. That is over. So why don't you make the best of your time, of your life, focus on you, whom you can help, whom you can empower, and trust us. The more people you help, the more power that you send out, the more power will be brought back to you. And then everybody else will be fed up with the folks that's fed up with you, and get these folks out your path. Am I right, my queen?
That is absolutely right, because I think the first thing that he's going to have to do is quiet the noise.
Yeah.
The first thing you have to do is quiet the noise in your head. He's saying that he's being kept up at night.
Yeah.
He can't sleep. He has these scenarios and things that people have done, things that people have said, is basically being a movie running over and over in his head. So the very first thing you have to do is stop the chatter. When we were at the summit, one of the great speakers there, his name was Johnny Campbell. And he said, people, we always wonder, what's our purpose in life? Why are we here? What is going on with this whole thing that we call life? And the one thing that he brought about, that he said, your purpose here is to serve. That's why you're here. You're here to help others, and you're here to help life move forward. So, Fed Up, I know there are a lot of people, and like you said, you can't even talk to the people around you, because you've sat here and seen possibly somebody come to one of them, saying what problem they had, and they walk away thinking that they were being helped, and now they're part of a gossip pool.
These people are we call haters.
Yeah, they're laughing at them. You don't want to talk to them because you know how they operate.
Yeah.
They're laughing at people. They're talking about their problems instead of genuinely helping them. So I can understand the fact that you don't want to speak to these people and you don't want to become a part of the gossip. But I'm sure there's got to be somebody that you can talk to, that you know for free. That will honestly tell you how they feel. Your mom or someone that you can confide in without worrying about it leaving that space.
Well, I know a great thing you can also do, Fed Up. And this is something that the Queen and I did. When we got fed up with people who was talking and we wanted to actually talk about the issues that we got, guess what? We created a blog. Okay?
That's the
and
point.
we started writing our emotions and our feelings about different topics and different issues and started talking about our real feelings about stuff that's going on out here in this world that we are fed up with.
That's right. It goes back to the good old Dear Diary.
Yeah.
You know, back in those days when you got your diary and you wrote down how your mama make you sick.
Can't say that around mama, though.
But you know what I'm saying? You know, back in the day when you were a kid and you can't say this to mama face or daddy face because you knew it wasn't going to end well for you.
Yeah, man.
But you wrote it all down in your diary and you just got it off your chest. Sometimes it is a conversation blind when you're just talking to yourself and you need an outlet.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can use that old routine of writing a letter to somebody that you have a problem with because you said that you have a lot of grudges that you're holding. And you might not be the type of person that likes conflict. Therefore, you're keeping it all in. But sometimes another way to release is just to write it down in a letter and put it in an envelope. But instead of mailing it, you burn it.
You burn that
tear
sucker.
It up,
You
but you
burn
have
it.
to find a way to release it.
Yeah, and when you're burning it, and I know this sounds very sadistic, okay? But when you're burning it,
Lord, let's not get too sadistic.
here we go, Nyghtstorm
gotta
Nation.
inspire now.
You
Here we
know
go.
me. I'm finna put my foot in my mouth.
Oh, don't
but
put it
when
in
you
there.
burn that
Keep
little
the
fella,
foot. Hold the ankle.
When you burn it, brother, and you're looking at the ashes in the garbage can on the sidewalk, just imagine. I ain't gonna say imagine that person burning. I'm gonna say imagine that conflict, that issue, that hurt that person gave you. Imagine that old bad stuff being completely eradicated in your life as the ashes and the cinders burn that paper away. So I ain't put my foot in my mouth too deep, did I?
You actually did good.
Because I got size 13, and these feet are big, and they don't smell good all the
And
time.
you won't be able to speak with it in your mouth. So silly. So silly. So fed up. I hope that at least starts to get you on the right path as to what you can do. Because I know people don't have money to sit and spend $80 and $100 an hour to talk to someone to, have their issues figured out. And we always do advocate that if you are having a situation that you need to speak to someone on to seek professional counseling. And keep in mind, too, there are places out there that are income-based, as to what you can afford if it really starts getting deep for you. Because you're losing sleep, you're thinking about it, you have grudges and resentment, obviously, and you just got some stuff in your mind. You didn't get into deep detail here as to the specifics, but, you're crying out for help and saying, hey, somebody, listen, I need something. Yeah,
and one last thing, Fed Up in Philly. This stuff that you're holding, it will kill you, man. This stuff is toxic. Look at it as poison. It is poisoning your system. The longer you hold it, the quicker it will kill you. And I don't want you being on your deathbed thinking, man, I really should have let stuff go because maybe I'll be living life a little bit longer. Unfortunately, it takes sometimes us being right there at the brink of destruction for us to realize that these issues and the things that we are so mad at that are controlling our life, guess what? They don't matter. They don't matter.
Because if you were on your deathbed at this moment, the things that you're upset about, would they matter when you're on your last breath?
I know some stuff wouldn't matter. Like how that dude cut me off in traffic today. Man, that wouldn't matter. How this dude shot a bird at me because I was in my Mercedes and said, I don't like you because you're in a Mercedes. Well, that wouldn't matter, even though it did tick me off, and I did kind of drive behind him a little too fast and wearing my horn. And I was thinking, would the queen approve of this behavior from me? The answer is no. So I stopped, and I let him go and about his business because he probably fed up with life. But I'm good, and I'm happy, so I ain't got nothing else to say.
All right, then. And that was a little bit of venting from YG.
Yeah, all right, now we are going on a break. You are listening to Nyghtstorm Radio right here on Love 860 AM, Atlanta's inspirational talk radio station. See you on the other side of the break. You ever been so depressed to where you want to hurt yourself because life has been unkind, unfair, and unforgivable? Folks done hurt you and thrown you away? Yeah, I know. Because I was there too, until I read this book by YG Nyghtstorm called All Action No Talk. This dude has been there, man. He understands us. He was homeless, abused as a child, abandoned by his dad, and even his oldest son passed away. I'm encouraged because if this dude can make it, so can I, and so can you. So check it out at Nyghtstorm.com, NYGHTSTORM, and know that you have the strength to change your life despite adversity, like him, like me, like you.
Hey, you, guy or gal that's listening, are you enjoying the Night Storms? Good! If you want the 411 on me, YG Nightstorm,
And me, Toby George Nightstorm, a.k.a. Lady Nightstorm, visit Nyghtstorm.com. That's NYGHTSTORM.com. Check out our informative blogs, videos, and see what Nightstorm Nation is doing to benefit the community. You can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook.
thanks again for listening to the Night Storms on Nyghtstorm Radio every Thursday at 11 a.m. to noon on Love 860 a.m. Atlanta's inspirational station. We are you.
Hi everyone, it's me, Lady Nightstorm, and have I got news for you. Want to know how to keep up with us and what we're doing in the community? It's easy. Just like us on Facebook at Nyghtstorm Radio. Follow us on Twitter at Nyghtstorm Radio and become part of the Nyghtstorm Nation mailing list at Nyghtstorm.com. That's NYGHTSTORM. Keep up with all our promotions, contests, and latest happenings. Nyghtstorm Radio. We are you.
You are now rocking with the Night Storms on Atlanta's inspirational station, Love 860 AM WAEC. Now back to the show.
Welcome back to Nyghtstorm Radio. We are talking about healing from our past and how to move forward. And if you would like to call in and be a part of the conversation, you can reach us at 404-355-8699 in Atlanta. That's 404-355-8699 or 1-866-923-2860 anywhere else. And remember, that's the 866 number, not an 800 number or any of these other numbers, 888 or whatever. It's 866. All right, YG, we have a second letter here.
Yeah, man, they coming in, man.
Yeah, and you know, we have a lot of people that write to us about a lot of different things, and we go through and we choose what works for that particular topic. So this one goes, Dear Night Storms, I'm a survivor of childhood abuse, and I can relate so much to YG and the pain he went through as a child. I listened to the show, and I have heard him repeat his story over, and I get that it's a form of therapy for him to talk about it, to help him as he's helping others. And I wish that I could be as strong and as brave as he is with his transparency. But my issue is that I'm too ashamed, and I've told no one.
Wow.
The only people that know are me and my abuser and God.
Wow.
A part of me wants to, keep it that way because I don't want a spotlight on what happened. I don't want to discuss it because I have to relive the details. On the other hand, I believe I've been carrying this for too long. I've had it for years. And I hear YG talk so openly, and I think, wow, I could never air my dirty laundry like that. What would people think of me, especially since I've not come forward in all these years? They would probably think I was a liar, which is why I haven't said anything to begin with. I'm torn on which way to go with this. I mean, at this point, I'm 35 years old. Who really cares about something that happened over 20 years ago? I don't know if it really even matters anymore. Maybe I should just take it to the grave.
Wow.
And this is from Samantha in Denver.
Wow. Well, Samantha, I want to tell you that what you just did showed an immense amount of courage, okay? And the fact that you're 35 years old and you're finally unburdening yourself of this immense weight.
Yeah, just the fact that she even is mentioning something about it.
Yeah.
Samantha, whether you realize it or not, you have already started the process of opening up and letting it go and releasing it just to even bring it out. The fact that you've been holding on to it, the fact that you said, the only people that's known about it to this point is the abuser, yourself, and God. Mm-hmm. You didn't want to say anything at the time that it happened, and now you feel like it's reached the statute of limitations in a sense.
Yeah.
But there is no statute of limitations.
No.
So you've carried burdens for years, but you've come out and you've discussed it. I myself have carried things that you and I have talked about. I'm not so, you're more the extrovert and I'm more the introvert person. Mm-hmm. But, I trust you and I've told you things that have happened as far as my own, molestation issues within the family and things that I have been through. Yeah. But you have this person here who said, I didn't speak of it. I'm too ashamed that it happened to me. I don't want to relive it to tell someone that it happened. Mm-hmm. They're probably going to think I'm lying anyway because why didn't I say something back then?
Well, you want to know something? I'm going to tell you, Samantha, like we told Fed Up in Philly. It don't matter what these other people think, okay? I didn't tell anybody that I was raped. I didn't even tell my mother until I was 30 years old. And I'm 40 now, okay? Right. And because I was ashamed. How can this big old strong dude who is in the gym all the time, who is so tough, how he get raped when he was a kid? It's because I was a kid. Right. And I was little and I had no power. And that dude who we call the wicked man took my power from me. Mm-hmm. But guess what? I took my power back. And Samantha, you are taking your power back right now as you are empowering millions of people that are listening to this show right now. And you know something, baby? Mm-hmm. It's so good that we are experts on this. But it's always refreshing when we can have other experts come on and talk about this. So now, Jared, in my famous British accent that famous. You love, the Queen famous. Loves, we're going to introduce our speaker because she is here. Cue that music. Ha 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 ha! Yeah! Nyghtstorm Nation, our distinguished guest is here. Take it away, my queen.
She is the founder of Walking in Divine Purpose, a ministry that promotes awareness regarding sexual abuse, bringing to light an offense that is done in secret and usually stays in secret. She teaches women, men, and youth alike that their value and worth comes from Christ alone and that they are not held captive to their past.
This incredible woman shares her past struggles with those who have been victims of sexual abuse, as well as mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual abuse. She gives hope to those who have been victimized. She teaches them that healing and complete wholeness is possible. So, ladies and gentlemen of Nyghtstorm Nation and people around the world, we want to welcome to Nyghtstorm Radio, the one, the only, the incredible Mrs. Lashawn Dobbs. Yeah!
Welcome to Nyghtstorm Radio, Lashawn.
Good morning. Thank you for having me, YG and Toby.
You are so welcome. Thank you for being our guest. Now, Lashawn, I have been on your website, and YG's been on your website. You have such interesting information, and your mission is such a great one. Could you tell us more about it?
Yes. Walking in Divine Purpose Ministries is a ministry that was birthed about a year ago, and it was birthed out of my pain. A lot of times we can't understand why we go through what we go through, and a lot of times we don't want to go through what it is that we have been through, but in the midst of the pain, we are able to minister to someone else and cause healing in others' lives in an area that we were supposed to be beat down and broken in. It actually brings healing to not only ourselves, but also to those that we are called to. So the mission of Walking in Divine Purpose is to bring to light sexual abuse, all types of abuse I have been through, but the main one is sexual abuse, because sexual abuse, people will talk about other types of abuse more openly than they will sexual abuse. Mm-hmm. Sexual abuse is so under the cover kind of thing and in the closet and closed away for no one to know about, because it brings so much shame and guilt on the victim. So we don't want to open it up and we don't want to talk about it, but in talking about it and opening it up, we are able to free ourselves from the pain of that past. So that's the purpose of Walking in Divine Purpose Ministries.
Well, you want to know something? I feel really, really, really good about this, because just the fact when you started talking Did you feel the energy, sweetheart?
Yes, it is.
Did you feel that? Okay, I can honestly tell because folks who have discerning spirits can tell that when somebody is being authentic and when somebody's just full of crap. Okay?
Yeah.
And I mean, you know what I'm talking about, Lashawn, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I want to tell you, ma'am, you are not full of crap today. You are awesome. And when the Queen and I was looking on your website, and we saw the power of the words that you were saying and how you impact people all over the place. And we looked at your book, Broken But Now Healed. Okay, that can really, really be a powerful read for folks like Samantha. It can be a powerful read for folks like Fed Up in Philly. So I want to ask you this, break down a little bit of what's in your book and how it can help folks heal through their issues from things that maybe help you heal from yours, ma'am.
The different chapters in the book, I know the first chapter starts off with, I go into childhood memories and then adolescent and then into adulthood, because in every stage of our lives, we go through something. Mm-hmm. So for me, in childhood, I went through abandonment by my mother because my father and my mother, there was so much abuse in the home. My mother and father would fight all the time, to the point where I literally saw my father put my mother's head through a wall right in front of my face, right next to my room door.
Wait a minute, hold on. Okay, all right, we need to really, let's hit that. Now, when you was a child, because Toby and I went through the same things and I saw the same things also, but we really need to talk about when you was a kid and you are literally seeing your mother and your father fighting and both of them are going at it and your father put your mom's head through a wall. Are you serious?
Yes.
Wow, okay, keep on going because this is deep that a child is looking at this, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead, Lashawn.
Yes, I was about 7 years old when that happened. And the fighting I think it was at that point that my mother had decided, enough was enough. Mm-hmm. And she ended up leaving. So not only did I experience the trauma of seeing my mother and father fighting, but then she had to leave. As a child, you don't understand that she has to leave because, it was to the point where she could have ended up dead. Mm-hmm. But at the age of 8, when she left, that was not on my mind. It impacted my life as abandonment because my mother was no longer around. Mm-hmm. So just at the age of 8, I had already been through 2 traumas in my life, to where seeing my mom and father fight, then going through my mother basically abandoning us because she had to get out of an abusive situation, and then right after that, going through being molested by a family member. Mm-hmm. And so all this happens in my childhood. And a lot of times, when traumas do happen, it's like it starts in childhood, because if we can get broken in childhood, we can't fully come forth. And it's meant to stop us. It's meant to break us to the point where we will not prosper, we will not go any further, but we will remain these broken people in society. But that's not what happened, thank God. A lot of times, when we go through these things, they're so detrimental to us. And if you don't have anyone to speak to, anyone to talk to, you can remain in a broken state. And that's what happened in my situation.
Yes, I definitely. I can understand that. I believe they call that you referred to arrested development. Mm-hmm. We've been through a lot of counseling sessions ourselves, and the one thing where you're saying you're broken at that point, when you have these traumas, and it literally does arrest your development as far as what you would naturally be doing, your point. And I can definitely relate to you in the part that you're speaking about with being molested by a family member, because my father's brother, he was so slick with it that he brought it to me as, I want you to be my girlfriend. And this is what girlfriends and boyfriends do, to the point that when it was, finally clicking that this ain't right for me to wake up in the middle of the night with this grown man in the bed with me. And I told my mom, and she was like, I'm going to call the police. I was like, no. I don't want him to get in trouble. I just want you to know. And people, they don't understand that this is where you freeze at. And you sat down and you wrote this book about it. What prompted you to write your first book?
What prompted me was about maybe 5 years ago, I was in my second marriage that was a nightmare. And as I was going through more trauma in my life, it just kept bringing to the surface things that I tried to hide, things that I tried to suppress and block out and kind of just move on with life. And as I was journaling one night, I began to write at the top of the page, broken but now healed. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what that's about. And the next day, God begins to say to me, that's the title of your first book. And as I was writing that night, things that I had blocked out begin to come to the surface. And I just begin to weep and I begin to cry. And then that's when the healing process started, because I had to now look it in the face and deal with it. And healing doesn't take place until we can confront that which has hurt us, that which has broken us. A lot of times we think that by blocking it out and suppressing it, it means that, oh, I'm healed from that situation, you know, because it doesn't bother me anymore. But no, it's festering on the inside of us.
Exactly.
So that's what prompted me to write it, for my own healing, but also to minister to someone else, to touch someone else's heart. Because I tell people all the time, although broken but now healed is, you know, my testimony, it's not only my story. This is the story of many of us that have been through the same traumas, the same struggles in our lives.
Wow. Now, you know something? It's tough being an author. And especially when you're writing sensitive material like you're writing and like what we write. Now, I want to ask you this, because it takes a whole lot of courage to be able to open yourself up to the world and say, look at me, this is what happened to me. But to also understand that you are not unique, that millions upon millions of people are hiding their shame of what somebody did to them. But the fact is, and what I really, really love about you is that the fact is you named the book Broken But Now Healed. Now, you acknowledge the fact that, yes, you were broken. Something happened. Something very, very bad damaged me. But, and when you always hit with a but, that means, guess what? Something is finna change. The very basic and the subject matter of this sentence is finna change when you hit but now healed. And I want to tell you, there's power there. There's power in speaking. There's power in writing. And I know we're coming up against a hard break, but have you always dreamed of being an author, ma'am? I just want to real quickly before we go to this break, because some folk wake up and say, I want to be an author. Some people say, I've always wanted to be an author. And some people say there's a purpose of being an author. So quickly, did you always want to be an author, ma'am, and write this stuff?
Truthfully, no, not at all. This is not my mission. This is not anywhere that I ever pictured myself that I would be. Honestly, I never thought that I could be an author. I'm not even, you know how you have some people that are very consistent and they sit still and they're just able to, you know, tackle something and knock it out. That's not me.
So wait a minute, hold on.
I never thought.
So wait a minute, hold on. So even people who can't really focus on being an author all the time can be an author and help change people's lives all the time. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes.
Okay, all right. There you go, baby. There you go, Tony.
All right.
Because I know we had a hard break.
Well, you know, I would have never guessed that, you know, because this book is flowing, and your message of what you're saying and your passion for what you're doing is just flowing from you, Lashawn. So who would have thought we had to grab you and sit you down somewhere and tell you to put a computer in front of you and write it down?
Well, I tell you this, man.
Never thought that.
She's shining, man. And the fact of what she's writing is shining harder. And guess what? Fed Up in Philly and Samantha, this is how you do it. You're afraid to talk about what happened to you? Be fed up with being afraid.
And write it down.
It'll help you and it'll help other people.
That's right. You are listening to Nyghtstorm Radio here on WAEC Love 860 AM. We're going to take a break and we're going to come right back. So don't you go anywhere.
To all event planners, Are you worried that your next corporate get-together is going to be boring?
Then invite the Nyghtstorms to speak at your next event and electrify your organization as we break down how to grow your business, fix broken relationships, and conquer life challenges.
So make your next event epic. Invite me and the Queen to rock the house with inspirational techniques designed to empower individuals and maximize their true potential.
And thanks for listening to Nyghtstorm Radio on Love 860 AM WAEC, Atlanta's inspirational station.
We are you.
This is Toby George Nightstorm, a.k.a. Lady Nightstorm, and I'm known as the woman not afraid to tell the truth about how things really are. And the truth I have to say to you is you should listen to Nyghtstorm Radio every Thursday from 11 to noon. And you should also like us on Facebook at Nyghtstorm Radio. Follow us on Twitter at Nyghtstorm Radio. And join the Nyghtstorm Nation mailing list on Nyghtstorm.com. That's NYGHTSTORM.com. Nyghtstorm Radio on Love 860 AM WAEC, Atlanta's inspirational talk radio station. We are you.
This is YG Nyghtstorm. And why should you listen to Nyghtstorm Radio? Because we relate to you or someone you know with topics taken directly from our lives. Every time you tune in, you'll hear a discussion about real subjects that affect real life. Why? Because me and the Queen have been there. So join us right here every Thursday morning from 11 to noon on Love 860 AM WAEC, Atlanta's inspirational talk radio station. Nyghtstorm Radio. We are you.
Hello, Nyghtstorm Nation. This is Toby George Nightstorm, a.k.a. Lady Nightstorm, and I have a question for you. How much are you spending each day on lunch? $6, $7, $10 even? Do you know that for less than what you spend each week on lunch, you can advertise your business or service right here during the show on Nyghtstorm Radio? Why don't you inbox us on Facebook, send us a message on Twitter, or drop us a line at Nyghtstorm.com. Let us show you how you can get your business or service out in front of the people. Now back to the show.
Welcome back to Nyghtstorm Radio. We are speaking with the founder of Walking in Divine Purpose Ministries and the author of the book Broken But Now Healed, Mrs. Lashawn Dobbs. And if you would like to call in and be a part of the conversation, you can reach us at 404-355-8699 in the ATL. And to all the Nyghtstorm Nation members around the country, call in at 1-866-923-2860. But while we were on the break, we received a Twitter message, okay? And we always get these pop-ups and Lashawn, it's about you. Are you ready to hear about this?
Yes, I am.
Okay. No, trust me. They ain't dogging you out or nothing. Trust me. We ain't going to talk. We ain't going to do that, okay? Okay. It says, good morning, Nyghtstorms. Love the show, and I love today's topic. I want to ask your guest, Mrs. Dobbs, how she started her ministry, because I see so many people around me who need free access to the services she provides, and I would like to spearhead it, but I don't know where to begin. And that is from Tony in Orlando, Florida. All right, Tony. All right, we done read your question.
Your tweet.
Your tweet. So, Lashawn, take it away.
Hi, Tony. Well, Tony, about a year ago when I started Walking in Divine Purpose Ministries, I didn't even know exactly the form that it would take on. Honestly, God told me to begin to open up a prayer line for women. So I began to just be obedient, open up a prayer line, and women begin to call in. And as women begin to call in and we just begin to pray together, that's when it just opened up. Like, this is a line. This is a helpline for those that are broken, those that are damaged. So I started off with that. I started off with prayer. And then it just spread abroad. Women will contact me either by text, they'll call me, or even by email. And if they need ministering to, if they just need me to listen to them, because a lot of times that's what people need. They don't need me all the time to tell them what they should be doing or to preach at them. A lot of times they just need someone who's authentically and honestly just going to listen to them. So just be that listening ear at first. It's not even about, I need to, just start this ministry and just hurry up and get a trademark and get this and get that. No, people are in need of something authentic. So if you can provide for them a ministry that is authentic, an organization for them that's authentic, someone who's going to listen, that's going to put their time in and just really be there for them, that's what's needed.
Great.
Well, there you go, Tony in Orlando, Florida.
Exactly.
That's good stuff,
right.
Lashawn. That's good
Especially, and I know she said women, but she also deals with men and children. And a lot of times with men, they don't want you to tell them what to do anyway.
Wait a minute, hold on.
They just want you to listen to whatever they got to say.
Wait a minute, my queen.
Wait
a minute.
They'll follow it if they think about following it.
Hold on now. Wait a minute. I know you ain't talking about
I'm just saying
somebody else that's in the studio. You talking about those other dudes, right?
I'm just saying in general.
In general.
Men don't ask directions. They drive in a circle 20 minutes.
But that's because, let me tell you, but my queen, really.
The gas getting low, I'm just saying.
Well, you know something? I would tell you this about these other dudes that, me, I always listen to every word you say, even though I ignore you sometimes.
Yeah. Exactly. But
Lashawn, hold on, Lashawn. I'm gonna get in trouble up in here. You can't hurt me in front of these folks, man. What's wrong with you?
This radio.
They can't see.
Look. Now, when you wrote your book, Broken Now Healed, Lashawn, who was your target audience?
Probably YG Nyghtstorm after you beat me up, man.
Whatever.
Come on, Lashawn.
My target audience are those who have been broken. A lot of things come to break us. Sometimes there are traumas that happen to us, and sometimes it's self-inflicted pain.
Mm-hmm.
I've experienced both in my life. I've experienced traumas that have come from outside sources, and I've also experienced things that I've honestly done to myself. Different situations that I put myself in that led to me also being broken. Mm-hmm. So there's two sides to the book, those who have experienced trauma and those who find themselves basically hurting themselves more than even helping their own self.
Wow.
So, so I guess there's really, that covers a broad area.
Okay, but it covers a broad area, but guess what? The folks that are going through things, it's broad. Okay, and it's the type of book that'll help folks. Now, I want to say this, because my queen be getting on me sometime. And Lashawn, you see how Po YG be in the studio suffering, man. I'm telling you, man. It's like,
self-inflicted. They goes into that self-inflicted.
I'm in a corner right now shivering in fear because the queen be giving me these evil looks. But I want to say this.
That's a long-reaching microphone.
Man. Toby George Nyghtstorm, will you please leave me alone? Anyway, can I get back to this interview, please?
Go ahead.
Thank you. Now, Lashawn, me and you finna talk. The queen finna go for a second. It's just me and you, okay? Are you listening, Lashawn?
Mm-hmm. I'm listening.
All right, now look here. Now, I'm gonna say something to you real quiet, like that the queen can't hear. But we appreciate you being here, and I need help.
Shut up, fool.
Okay, but anyway, as far as your book, Broken But Not Healed, and it touches a wide variety of people because of the wide variety of issues, what can readers expect to receive after reading this incredible book, ma'am? All joking aside.
They can expect to receive healing if that's what they're willing to open themselves up to. Mm-hmm. A lot of times, it doesn't matter what we read. It matters if I can read your book, and if I don't open up myself to receive what you're saying to me in your book, I'm not going to receive anything out of it. Mm-hmm. So what I like to tell the readers, even in the beginning of the book, is allow yourself to be free. Open up yourself to receive what it is that you need out of this book. A lot of times, because of the trauma, we build walls. So what happens is we will read books that can help us, but because of the wall that we've built, and we're not going to allow it to penetrate the heart. Right. So if you're willing to receive and open yourself up to what the book is saying, because it's going to hurt. And a lot of times we don't want to deal with hurt. But if you allow yourself to open up and experience the pain that it's going to cause from getting cleaned out, you will receive the healing that you need. You will receive the guidance that will lead to the healing that you need. A lot of times we have wounds, and I like to liken it in this manner. We'll have a wound like a child with a busted knee from riding a bike. Comes in the house, either they have two choices to make. I can come in the house and I can tell my mom, that I got hurt and I fell off my bike, or I can hide it and just smack a Band-Aid on it. And then what happens? A lot of times that's what we do with wounds. We'll smack a Band-Aid on it and assume that it's going to heal, but instead, underneath the surface, it's getting infected. So this book, Broken But Now Healed, is meant to clean out that infection. And when you clean out an infection, it hurts. It's going to hurt. It's going to burn. You're going to cry. There's going to be pain. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you it's going to be easy, but there will be pain. But after that pain begins healing.
Yes, ma'am.
That
yes,
is
ma'am.
such a great analogy. So excellent. Now, Lashawn, how can people reach you? How can they get more of this knowledge, this wisdom, your ministry, find out more about your book?
They can go to my website, which is www.LashawnDobbs, LashawnDobbs.com. The website is a little bit under construction, but everything that they need is right there. Everything to reach me. There's a contact form in the back. There's links to my email address. I believe I even have my telephone number up there because I like to get personal with people. I'm a relationship person.
Right.
I'm not just going to sit there, talk to you, and beat you in the head with the Bible or anything. I'm a relationship person. I love to build relationships, and I love to see where people are. So you can use the contact form and contact me. I will definitely reach out, and I'm here.
Wow, you know something.
And you know what, though? Let me just say this. When we were on LaShawn's page, and I read that snippet to get you into knowing what that book is about, girlfriend, that introduction, that preface, oh my Lord, I was ready to read the book. Just that, and the way that you ended it with, what am I going to do next? What's going to happen next? That is such a great hook. You did that.
She did that. And Nyghtstorm Nation, I want to tell you this. Lashawn is coming from a very real place. And people who may be suffering from their very, very real places with very, very real issues, this book and Lashawn, period, is a person that you really, really, really need to reach out to. And I want to tell you something else that, today we've talked about some very, very deep issues of hurt, of pain, and agony that has consistently been a thorn in people's sides for so many years in their lives. But you want to know something? There is a word out there that can cover a multitude of bitterness and pain, and that word is love. And Nyghtstorm Nation, we've come to the love shout-outs segment of our show where you guys get to shout out your love to each other on the air. And sweetheart, do we have any love shout-outs right now?
Well, first of all, I want to send a very special love shout-out to you, Lashawn, our very special guest in your ministry, in your book, the author, the prophet, the mentor. I would like to say thank you for joining us here on Nyghtstorm Radio, for engaging Nyghtstorm Nation and teaching us and helping us. And is there anyone else that you would like to give a shout out to?
I want to say thank you for the shout out.
You're welcome.
I would like to give a shout out. I would like to give a love shout out to my husband.
Yeah.
My king, my everything. I love him so much.
Yes.
So I would like to give a love shout out to him as he's at work on today and he's unable to tune in.
That's all right. It's going to be on Nyghtstorm.com. By tomorrow you could just pull it up and let him listen to it.
Yeah, tell your king to listen to his queen on the radio.
We got you. All right. And also, as we said, we had a wonderful time out in Chicago last week meeting people with the Ultimate Mastermind Summit. And we just want to give a shout out to a few people that we ran into while we were there. We're going to start it out with Carol Wozniak of the Club Space, CEO Space International Club president out there. Great time meeting you.
Kim and Mark Gleason real estate entrepreneurs.
That's right. Mr. Mark Imperial of Imperial Action.
Okay, Mr. Gregory Jack Here's, you the man, brother.
Jeff Coyle of Ninja Marketing Solutions.
Let's see, we got...
That's Eric. That is Eric of Fierce Hair. In fact, he gave us a call this morning.
Yeah, Eric and Dan Winger. Yep.
Of Me Inspiration, Inspire Yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Owen of the Owen Method, Success is Your Option.
Yeah, Douglas Parker, the man of Marketing Assets International. Alexander Reyes of Transamerica.
Dale J. Spencer.
Yeah, and Greg Tomina, I hope I got that right, of Advanced Dentistry.
Serenity. Advanced Dentistry.
Okay, Dennis L. Adams, Elgin State Bank.
Teresa Butler, who works with our friend, Mr. John Delemy of Delemy Development
Group. You're a champion, John. Okay, Colonel Jill Moringhalter. Hope I pronounced her name correct. Thank you for your service.
And last but not least, my favorite, Toby Stubbs.
Toby Stubbs.
Yeah, you know, he got the name, right? So he was one of my favorites out there as we spoke to people. He's with Wisdom Insurance Agency and out with Vino Bira, the fine wines and beer crafts. We have John and Maria. Everybody.
Sean M. Miller. Thank you, brother.
We loved meeting all of you and sharing success. And we want to thank you all for talking to us. And we want to thank Nightstorm National listeners. And if you want to send us your love shout outs, you know where to send it to.
All right. Thank you, guys. And we always end this with the Nightstorm Nation. We are Nightstorm Nation pledge.
Stepping out of darkness into the light, we are here together in the combined power of individuals who dare to be above the status quo to initiate change.
Regardless of inadequacies or our mistakes that lie in our past, we make the difference of success over failure.
We come together as one body, one soul, and one mind, spreading the fruitfulness of truth and empathy to those that need us most.
And may we all be blessed in our journey as we scatter across the globe, bringing the healing power of change.
I love me, I love you, and we will change the world.
Because we are Nightstorm Nation, and we are you. God bless you. Have a great weekend, and go change some lives today.